Hello Stampers! I've got a fishy card for you today. We all have those men in our lives that like to fish or be outdoors. So I created this card using the new A Fish and a Wish stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is in the annual catalog and it's a fun stamp to work with. It has this great stamp here that makes it so easy to make your water for your fish. And then of course it has a plant which is very helpful for your scene. And it has a few different kinds of fish here, so you can like mix and match them on your card. So I added like a couple of each, I guess, and I left the big guy here like he's looking at this hook. So here we go. We're going to start this with a piece of basic white cardstock that's 3.5 inches square. And all the dimensions for this card are easy to find. You just click show more under the description of this video and you'll see them all listed there along with the links to the products that'll take you to my online store. So we're going to start by just creating a bit of color in our background. I'm using soft sea foam and I'm using a Stampin' Blend brush. So I'm just going to blend this all over this cardstock. This kind of gives us just a base color for our scene here. And if you're wondering why I just didn't start with the seafoam piece of cardstock, it turns out so differently when you do that. If you just put seafoam on your white cardstock, it gives you this molted look to your cardstock if you're using a circular motion here. And you can have like light spots and dark spots. So there's our seafoam all over. And while I got that seafoam out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp some of these. I don't know what you would call them. It's like waves in the water. So we're going to stamp this with our seafoam and we're going to stamp it here and there, and I'm trying to keep them kind of even. And occasionally turn your stamp around so you have a different like pattern going. So there's our seafoam ones. Then we're going to go a little darker. We're going to put some pool party ones in here. And it's okay that when you put these on, if they're a little dark, it's fine because they're going to dry a couple shades lighter. And when you put your fish over them, if it shows through a little bit, that's great because it looks like the fish are, you know, actually in the water instead of on top of the water. So I'm just going to mix these around through here. This is pool party. This is such a great stamp. So that was pool party, and then I'm going to go darker yet, and we're going to do Balmy Blue. Let's see, I'm trying to go in between a bit. And you see these darker Balmy Blue ones a little better than the others, but it all adds for some great texture like that looks like water. So there is our finished piece. And that goes on really quick. So that's all done. Now it's time to stamp our fish. And I have 3 fish here and I'm going to just use all of them. The main thing that you want to do when you're stamping your fish is to make sure you leave some room here for that hook and your bobber. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my large fish first. And I'm using basic gray to stamp these fish. And I'm going to stamp this big guy over here. I'm not stamping the whole fish, because I want to leave that room. So there's the front of that fish, and we're going to go to the medium-sized fish here, and I'm going to add this fish in its entirety. Here, put it right on this left side. Again, I'm thinking that I need this space here, so I'm leaving that kind of blank. I'm going to add one more fish, like they're swimming in schools here. The same fish there. Then I think I'm going to use a couple of the littler ones. They're kind of like filler. And they're kind of cute because they have little circles on them like bubbles. So I'm going to add one right up here at the top. And then add one here, I think. There we go. And now we have our main panel here full of fish. Again, that was basic gray that I used. And now I want to add some plants. So I'm going to use soft succulent for this. And I'm going to stamp this like right over this fish here. It's fine. We'll be able to see it through the plants. There we go. Maybe one more down here at the bottom. Okay, again, that was soft succulent. All right, now it's time to color our fish. And I'm going to start out, and I'm going to color with a, these are all Stampin' Blend markers. So I'm going to use the brush end for this coloring, and this is the light soft succulent. And I'm going to color in like half of this fish here at the top. There we go. And I think I'm going to go ahead and color half of all the fish, actually. Their little tails. And this here. These fish are easy to color. There's not a whole lot to them. There we go. That was soft succulent. I'm going to add, I wanted some green that would pop. So I have the dark granny apple green Stampin' Blend. And I'm going to add that at the top of each fish. And I don't want to cover up all of that soft succulent. I'm just adding a little bit to the top. Got lots of that soft succulent showing there. And next I just want to add some color to their belly. So we're going to go with a light So Saffron. So coloring in their belly, and you can go right into some of that soft succulent there. Kind of blends it out a little bit. Here we go. And there are fish. They're all done. They're looking great. They're three-toned. So that was our main image panel. It came together that quick. And so I have our background panel this is going to go on. And I'm going to stamp that plant that we stamped down here. I'm going to stamp it on our background so it kind of flows together when you go to put your card together. So this is Balmy Blue. And I cut two of these Balmy Blue panels that are 4 by 5.25. There's one on the front of the card and one that goes on the inside of the card. And we're going to stamp using that soft succulent again, just to tie things together. And I'm not going to stamp all the way up because I want it to appear like this part is the sky. And then I just want the plants to be around the edge. This is such a great image. Here we go, and that was soft succulent. And then I want to add another color in, and I'm going to add Balmy Blue. And I'll just clean my stamp here on my scrap paper just a bit. I'm stamping over these images, but I'm trying to stamp it like in a different place. So it's like not right on top of the image. And there's our background. How fun is that? Super quick. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this main panel to our Balmy Blue panel. This is a quick card with all the stamping that you can do. It's so easy to put together. Here we go. I'm just trying to center it up here at the bottom. And I'm just leaving some of that showing all the way around. See how that flows together? It looks nice. Okay, for our bobber, I die cut 2 circles, one out of real red and one out of basic white. And I use the 1 1/4 inch circle die from the Layering Circles die set and the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I needed a white one and then a red one. And the red one I'm going to cut in half. And this will be the bottom of our bobber. And we'll just glue that on that white paper, white circle. And there's our bobber. And then we'll adhere it to our paper. And I'm going to adhere it right over that space that we left. That way our hook can go right under. Here we go. Straighten it up there a little bit. And then I'm going to use a white gel pen. This is a Signo White Gel Pen. And I'm going to put like just a little eye at the top. Like your little eye hook. And this is what you would tie your line to. And then I'm going to use, you can use the Stampin' Up basic black marker, the fine end, or any fine line black marker will work. And I'm going to add just a little line here. Let me get my marker going. Just a little line here. I'm going to add a circle. So I have a line with a circle at the bottom. And then I'm going to add my hook. Super easy to do. All right. And then for this top part, where our fishing line attaches to the bobber, I'm going to use a ruler. So I have just a little ruler here. And I'm making a line going up and off the paper, and I went right over the one end of that eye hook. So that is our front all together. And then I wanted some texture. So I have lots of texture on this card. Hopefully it's picking up on the camera. And that texture comes from this great embossing folder. It's Painted Texture 3D embossing folder from Stampin' Up. And I'm going to put this whole thing in here, and I have it facing up towards the Stampin' Up logo. And now I'm going to run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And just like that, I have it all done. It's all embossed. And there is our front panel. Look how great that looks. That texture really helps just take that card to the next level. So we're going to add this just to the front of the card. I tell you, any fisherman or outdoorsman is going to love this card. And this could be for a birthday, a thank you, get well, whatever for a man. Oh, or a woman who likes fishing also. I know a lady that does catfish fishing, and she catches catfish that are like, 50 pounds. It's crazy. So here is our finished front of our card, and I have it on a soft seafoam card base. And the card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and then I folded it in half for my quarter card. And inside I added that other Balmy Blue panel that's 4 by 5.25, and then a basic white panel that is 3 3/4 by 5. And just for a little added something, I'm going to just stamp that plant down in here in the corner, just to give it a little pizzazz. Here we go. So that's just a little something for the front of the card. And you can also put that plant on the flap of your envelope, which would be cute. So super easy to do, and I use soft succulent to stamp that with. And there's our finished card, all done for today. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a go. This is a very quick card. It's pretty much all straight stamping. So thanks for joining me. Bye.